In Pontelago, a small town on the banks of a river in the hills of northern Italy, everyone believed that Arturo Rinaldi was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. A reserved, elegant man, always in a dark jacket and with an absorbed gaze. His restaurants were known throughout the region, reviewed in haute cuisine magazines and frequented by celebrities and entrepreneurs. But no one really knew his story. Arturo was not the son of wealth. He grew up in Arpino, a small village where the houses faced onto narrow, uphill streets. His mother, Teresa, raised him alone after his father left them. She worked as a cook in school cafeterias, and with that little she managed to put together lunch and dinner. Arturo, as a teenager, began to get busy. He cleaned stairs, delivered newspapers, and on weekends washed dishes in a tavern in the village. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our stories. It was there that his passion for cooking was born. Whenever he could, he spied on the chef at work, memorizing every gesture. As soon as he finished school, he decided that he would not do as many other local boys who left to seek their fortune abroad. He wanted to stay, but grow up. So, during the day he worked in the kitchen, and in the evening he took economics courses at an evening school. After years of sacrifices, savings, and sleepless nights, he managed to open his first restaurant, Il Focolare. It was a small restaurant with just 6 tables, a small but genuine menu, and dishes that recalled the recipes of his childhood. Word spread quickly. Arturo's cooking was extraordinary. He soon asked for a loan and opened a second restaurant in Verona, then another in Bologna, and one more in Milan. In little more than 10 years, Arturo Rinaldi had become one of the most appreciated restaurateurs in Italy. But time, as we know, doesn't give anyone a break. And when the first pains began, Arturo thought it was just tiredness. Instead, it was something more serious. The doctors were clear. He had to slow down, maybe even think about what comes next. It was at that moment that Arturo realized he had no one by his side. He had never married, he had no children, and even his few distant relatives knew almost nothing about him. He had spent his whole life building, but now he didn't know who to leave all of that to. One of his lawyers suggested that he donate his fortune to an association or choose from among his most trusted collaborators. But Arturo wanted to be sure that whoever would receive that fortune really knew what it meant to earn it. One morning, he sat on the porch of his country house, a notebook on his knees. He wrote a sentence: "Only those who have fought like me can appreciate what I have built." But how could one understand who was truly worthy? Then he had an idea, as simple as it was crazy. He grew a beard, put on worn-out clothes from a flea market, and got a broken walking stick. He looked in the mirror. He really did look like a homeless person. Thus disguised, Arturo set out to visit his restaurants. The first was La Corte del Gusto, in the heart of Milan. He approached with an uncertain step and asked if he could have something to eat. The manager stopped him at the door. "We don't do charity work here," he said contemptuously, and chased him away. Arturo said nothing. He simply walked away, a lump in his throat. The second restaurant in Bergamo was no different. "Get out of here, bum!" the manager shouted at him. "Only selected customers come here." There, too, he was humiliated and rejected. The third place was in Modena, a modern bistro frequented by young people. Arturo entered through the back door, but was intercepted by a waiter who kindly accompanied him to the exit without even asking what he wanted. Disappointed, bitter, he thought that perhaps he had made a mistake. Is it possible that none of my employees believe in human dignity? He asked himself, but he decided to try one more time. The last restaurant was the smallest and also the newest. It was called Oliveto and was located in the hills near Florence. There, the kitchen was entrusted to a young chef he had heard good things about but had never met in person. This time, Arturo didn't show up at the front door. He entered from the back, knocked on the kitchen door, and waited. After a few seconds, a tall boy appeared, his apron stained with flour. "Good evening. Can I eat something? I have money. I can pay," Arturo said in a trembling voice. The boy looked him in the eye and replied with a smile, "Just give me a moment." He closed the door, and Arturo thought he would come back with someone to chase him away. Instead, the boy came back alone. "Come, I've set a table for you." She sat him down in a small room next to the kitchen, away from the other customers. She served him warm bread, a plate of lasagna, and a glass of water. Arturo was amazed. "What's your name?" he asked. "My name is Luca Mariani. I am the head chef here," the young man replied. "Allow me to offer you this meal." Arturo pretended to be annoyed, "But I said I can pay." Luca smiled. "I know, but I also know what it means to count coins before eating. I lived on the streets too. 2 years ago, a restaurateur gave me a chance. He taught me everything. Now I'm here, and I try every day to give back that gesture." Arturo felt a lump in his throat. He said nothing. After the meal, he stood up and left some banknotes wrapped in a napkin on the table. Then he left, without being seen. A few minutes later, a waitress ran into the kitchen. "Chef, that gentleman left a lot of money on the table." And it was true. It was 3,000 euros. Luca ran out, but Arturo had already disappeared. He then decided to divide the sum among the staff, thinking it was the gesture of a kind fool. A few months later, the news of Arturo Rinaldi's death spread around the country. Luca recognized the photo on TV. He was sincerely sorry. "He was a great man," he said in a low voice. But what took his breath away was the letter he received a week later. It was from Arturo's lawyer. The will left everything, restaurants, property, accounts, to him. Enclosed was a handwritten letter. "Dear Luca, I disguised myself as a homeless person and entered my restaurants. Everyone rejected me, everyone except you. You have shown that you have humanity, empathy, and a big heart. That is why you are the right person to continue what I have built. I know you dream of having your own restaurant. Now you can make it happen. Good luck, Arturo Rinaldi." Luca cried, not for the money, but for the gesture so profound. That trust, that second chance, would change his life. A second time. And he promised himself that he would fight with all his strength to continue to deserve that great gift he had received. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.